was in a Redeemed Church for 10 years, which was predominantly African or British African or African students, mainly Nigerian and Ghanaian, but other countries as well. And that was a really enriching experience for me. I've got to say that it became a struggle to actually penetrate to the level of feeling like I belonged in the church. And over 10 years, that, being perfectly honest, that became like a drip on the rock, and eventually the rock can crack and break. It affected me. But I learned something from it, which now in the church that I go to, I put into practice and really helps me. And that thing that I learned is not to put expectancy on others, but to be a servant myself. That's not always easy to put into practice, and I think this is an issue not just in multicultural churches, but in churches in general, where we have an expectancy when we go into church that it's going to be a great place of love and all of this, where in reality we are a bunch of strangers coming together from all different backgrounds, all different personalities, issues and problems and struggles and so on. So I think we need to learn to take expectancy off each other and be real. And we need to learn to be servants, learn to put the expectancy upon ourselves to serve. If I can just read a Bible verse, actually. Jesus washed his disciples' feet. And it's interesting what Jesus says when he's teaching about this afterwards in John chapter 13, verse 13. You call me teacher and Lord, and rightly so, for that is what I am. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet. I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you. Verily, very truly, I tell you, no servant is greater than his master. So, when we serve, that is when we break down barriers of difference. We can't always be like each other. We can't always break into another person's culture or belong in the same way that other people belong when they're in that culture or in each other's cultures. But what we can do is we can serve one another. And when we meet each other's needs, that's when I think that's when we come together and we get closer within that.